When you talk about bumping a player, it's pretty much
It's great courage. One that says the bump is dead, that's how you deliver it.
What is going on, YouTube universe? My name is Trent and welcome to the Hip and Shoulder, where we discuss everything Australian rules football. And today, it's footy tipping time. Time to lock in those tips ahead of round 11 action tonight. But before we do that, we've got to reflect on round 10. And thank fucking Christ, back-to-back 7 out of 9s for me, and I'm starting to move up the ladder. There's actual movement going on in the competition this week. I'm so excited. Looking at round 10, we backed the Gold Coast to win by 17 points. They ended up winning by 10 goals. Sydney defeated Carlton. Collingwood defeated Adelaide. Our first slip was backing in the Giants over the Dogs. Broke my heart. Fremantle got up over St Kilda. Brisbane absolutely demoralised Richmond. Essendon defeated North. Port Adelaide defeated Hawthorn. And our second loss for the particular round was backing Melbourne over West Coast, and West Coast ended up getting the job done by 35 points. Now, that does mean this week I'm actually amongst the pack that tipped the most correct amount of tips, because 7 out of 9 was the most correct for my competition this given week. So congratulations must go to Benny Craig, Frio90, myself, thank you very much, Nato, Majtig 77, Durable Lamb 86, and Welsh Duke for all tipping 7 out of 9, which was, as I said, the most amount of correct tips for this given round. And turning our attention to the total tips to see who is on top, well, there is no way I'm going to be reading that name out. You can go and get fucked. But my mate Damien holding up the top of the ladder, one tip ahead of Dusty Fendoff, Benny Craig, and Matt Lamb 24, all nipping at the heels. Dan Cash still within grasp as well, only 2 tips behind. And our top 10 is rounded out by Frio90, Team Wiggles, Gramercy Riff 78, Durable Lamb 80, no, it's Durable Lamb 6. What the fuck am I talking about? And Saintly 12. I have moved from second last to third last, but more importantly, I am only 4 tips out of the top 10. And at this point in time, if I can chase that top 10 down, I'll be very happy. But as much as I'm not going to say the team name this week, congratulations must go to Damien K for yet again holding down the competition for another round. This weekend is a very special weekend on the AFL calendar because it is Indigenous Round. We know each and every year this is a marquee period of the season where time is taken to pay respect and show appreciation towards the Indigenous community and everything they have done for our great game. And as a Richmond supporter, it is something that I always cherish every single year. I've been able to go to a Dreamtime at the G game live before. One of the jumpers I've got that I own is a Dreamtime at the G jersey for Richmond that given year. As one of my favourite designs. It's just a whole different atmosphere to a standard football game. There's something about it. There's something in the air that just truly makes it feel incredibly magical. Don't think it's going to be magical this year for Richmond fans. I think it's going to be quite a nightmare. It's kicking off tonight at Marvel Stadium with the Bulldogs hosting Sydney. I don't think the Bulldogs are the team to upset Sydney's run. Sydney are due to drop one, but I don't think it's tonight. And I'm going to go Sydney Swans by 26 points. Friday night, Optus Stadium, we have Fremantle hosting Collingwood. This is a game that is a real 50-50 flip for me because it's getting played in Optus and Fremantle play really well at home. They've been finding some form. They were really inaccurate last week against St Kilda, but they could have very well straightened up and absolutely destroyed them. Collingwood, on the other hand, really starting to find some form. This is tough. I think they're going to be without Will Hoskin-Elliott and Jordan De Goey this week as well. I might go Fremantle just until I see team selections and then might change my mind. But I'm liking an upset here in the way of Fremantle at home, which Wouldn't normally be an upset, but given their opponent, very well would be. Saturday afternoon, Blundstone Arena, North Melbourne taking on Port Adelaide. Yeah, we're going to go Port. Look, I said last time I'm not going to tip North down at Blundstone again because they burnt me once. And I'm going to stick by that. Port Adelaide obviously almost fumbled against Hawthorn last week, but really came home strong in one of the best comeback performances I've seen in a very long time. Definitely got to win against North here. Carlton Gold Coast. Down at Marvel Stadium. Very interesting prospect because given how dominant Gold Coast just were against Geelong, I give them every chance to knock Carlton off this week. I'm going to tip Carlton. Again, could be subject to team selection and I change my tip, but I think playing down here could be a bit of a shell shock for the Gold Coast, given they've played the last two at TIO Stadium up in Darwin. Now they're coming down to Melbourne. It could be a little bit of a shock to the system. Carlton need to really find their feet after a loss to Sydney as well, so I think this is where Carlton bounce back. GMHBA, Geelong taking on GWS. I'm going to go Geelong. GWFs are starting to fall off, and I don't know where this fall off has come from and why it has been so severe, but Geelong in Geelong, always going to be a hard task. MCG Saturday night, Richmond taking on Essendon. As much as I would love to see my boys get up, I am tipping Essendon. If my boys want to decide to pull off an upset of the century, I'd be happy for them to fuck my tip right up here, but there's no way Essendon don't win this, and again, this should be 10 plus goals the way of Essendon. If they want to start getting taken seriously, they need to start putting their foot on the throat of teams like North Melbourne, like Hawthorn, like Richmond. I mean, they beat North by 40 points last week, but I thought North were incredibly good in patches. They really challenged Essendon. So this needs to be a coming of age story for Essendon out of this week. It needs to be a week where people didn't really take them all too seriously against the effort after North Melbourne. Come out this week, absolutely destroy Richmond, and maybe they'll start getting taken seriously. Sunday afternoon, Marvel Stadium, Hawthorn taking on Brisbane. We have seen Hawthorn upset Brisbane before. I don't see it out of the realm of possibility, but I think Richmond have played Brisbane back into form again, just like they have to other teams every other week. I think Brisbane come down here and get the win. At the MCG, we have Melbourne taking on St Kilda. I do apologise if I'm reading their natural names instead of their Indigenous names. It's just something I'm not used to reading out. Melbourne versus St Kilda. Melbourne will be without Jake Lever, but that's okay because Max King doesn't fucking want to do anything in the forward line for St Kilda anyway, so I'm going to go with the Demons. And at Adelaide Oval, we have Adelaide hosting West Coast. I am going to give West Coast every single chance to get up here, but I'm going to back Adelaide to win. Bit of a recap. Sydney, Fremantle, Port Adelaide, Carlton, Geelong, Essendon, Brisbane, Melbourne, and Adelaide. With the tipping out of the way, we wrap things up with the multis that we have been generating over recent weeks. Now, do remember, I do not endorse gambling. This is not at all me telling you that you need to back these in. Remember that chances are you are already losing. Set deposit limits. Make sure you're not going over the top. Leave some money in your pocket. Just play smart. It's not hard. And for those that might be new around here, wondering why we do this, for the last number of years that I've done tipping competitions and tipping videos, especially over on my gaming channel, we have had people come through in the comment section presenting their own multis and selections that they have done over that particular round. And I thought it was a good idea to maybe throw some out as well, just to really start getting a little bit of connect between those people and just making this feel like a full-fledged community where people can come through with those type of conversation and comments and feel that they're not out of place. You know, there's people that love having a punt on the weekend, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I myself, every now and again, like to indulge, but just remember, as I said, gamble responsibly. With that being said, I'm going to reveal the punts to you this particular weekend, kicking off with a 12-leg same-game multi for the Bulldogs Sydney game tonight. We have Tom Papley, Isaac Heaney to kick a goal at any time. Aaron Norton, Jamara Ugle-Hagan, Will Hayward, Chad Warner to all have 2+ goals. Marcus Bontempelli and Isaac Heaney, as well as Chad Warner and Jack McRae to all have 20+ disposals. And both Adam Treloar and Errol Goulden to go 25+ disposals. That's going to return you $61. For the Hawthorn-Brisbane matchup, we have a 7-leg same-game multi, which boasts Jack Ginnivan, Cam Rayner, Kai Lohman as anytime goal scorers, Charlie Cameron to kick 2+ goals, Lachie Neale to have 25+ disposals, as well as Logan Morris and Mabior Chol to kick a goal at any time. And that's going to return you $7.50. Not as big as the first one, but hey, if you're looking at something that might be a little bit more simpler to put on and something that might get a little bit of guaranteed coin in your pocket more so than the other one, this one could be it. And as always, if you want to go for something really big, combine those two multis together, and that's going to return you a whopping total this weekend of $457.50 if you don't mind. That's home run category right there. That is it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Do hit that like button down below if you appreciate what I am doing. I appreciate you guys a lot, so it'd be good to see that reciprocated just a little bit. Please. Thank you. Hit that subscribe button as well if you want to get on board the community that we are building here. Thank you to every single person that has gotten behind all the content we are doing and has subscribed already. Slowly but surely, we're going to get to where we need to be. I'm starting to find my feet within this particular platform of AFL content, and I'm very much looking forward to diving into many more things. But that is it from me, guys. I'm out of here. Good luck to your teams this weekend, and as always, I will catch you guys next time.